With this O, I want us to look into what I think is one of the jewels of the good news about Jesus. The message of the story or the claim of Christianity is that in Jesus, God came to earth. That Jesus was fully God. That in Jesus, God took on a body. And so Jesus is the full embodiment of God. That's the story or the message or the claim of Christianity. If that's true, that has profound implications for how we see God. You ever been in a spot in your life where you're really hurting and you're really needing comfort, and so someone comes alongside and they're just like, "Oh, I know how you feel." No, you don't. I hate it when people say that to me. I just want to yell at them, like, "Don't talk to me." Now, there's other times, I know, on the other hand, where there's been a few times when there's been someone who comes along who actually has been through something very similar. Funny thing is, they usually don't say, "I know how you feel," but they end up actually being a real comfort because they do know where you're coming from. I think what both of those things tell us, what it indicates, is that often what we desire, what we want, is for someone to understand us. We want someone to understand. We want to feel heard, and we want to be understood. We want to feel heard, and we want to be understood. So follow me here. If Jesus was and is fully God, then he is not a God who has not experienced grief and sorrow and the need for comfort. Get that? We've got examples of it. When one of Jesus' friends died, Lazarus, he wept, was sorrowful. The night before Jesus was crucified, he's in the garden of Gethsemane, and he's seeking God for comfort. And he even tells his disciples, "My soul is very sorrowful." In the Old Testament, there were tons of prophecies predicting Jesus' coming, and several of them, they referred to him really as the suffering servant. Jesus, think about it, he was rejected by his own family, even his own brothers. They're like, "He's crazy." All of his followers in the end, all of his disciples, his friends, they all left him in the end and abandoned him. He was brutally tortured and crucified on this cross. And even then on the cross, he ends up feeling abandoned by God the Father. He says, my God, why have you forsaken me?" So think about that. Because of that, there is nothing that we will ever go through that Jesus has not felt or experienced. He's felt and experienced it all. He, of all people, he actually knows what it's like. He knows. He knows grief. He knows the need for comfort. He truly does know how you feel. Ever had a close friend or family member die? He knows that feeling. Ever had conflict with your family? He knows that feeling. Ever had someone turn their back on you, break up with you, divorce you, leave you? He knows that feeling. Ever felt like God isn't there and he doesn't care? He knows that feeling. He knows that feeling. In Jesus, we have a God who understands. We have a God who understands. He offers understanding to us, and that is a great comfort. Isn't that what we want? Think of the picture of a father. Most times kids they want their dad to listen. God is a God who always listens. He always hears our prayers. And he sends his son so that we might know and really understand how much he really does care, that he really does understand. And that is a great, great comfort to the soul. Every time we offer comfort to one another and comfort people, this is what we are offering them. So we're offering them an ear of understanding. It's exactly what the passage from 2 Corinthians 1 tells us as God's design. Look at it one more time from verse 4. He says, he comforts us in all our affliction so that we may be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. So know today that God knows. And if you know someone who needs comfort, offer them the comfort of God.